Namaskar, hello and welcome viewers. You're watching Perspective with your host Kriti Mishra. Legislative Assembly elections are scheduled to be held in Himachal Pradesh on 12th of November to elect 68 members of the Himachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly. Campaigning ended on Thursday at 5 p.m. Star campaigners of all political parties have been canvassing to garner votes for their candidates. The state is set to see an electoral contest between the BJP, the Congress and debutante Aam Aadmi Party. The previous assembly elections were held in November 2017. After the election, the BJP formed the government with Jai Ram Thakur becoming Chief Minister. The votes will be counted and the results will be declared on 8th of December 2022. So what are the main issues, the electoral prospects in the state? Let's analyze in this edition. Joining us on the program through virtual platform, Mr. Sanjay Singh, senior journalist. Also joining us, Aditi Fadnis, political editor, Business Standard. And joining us from Himachal Pradesh, Dr. Ashwini Sharma, senior journalist. And in the studio, we have with us Mr. Pradeep Kaushal, senior journalist. I welcome all of you on Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. Well, let's begin the program with a man on the ground. Dr. Sharma, let me begin the program with you. Traditionally, we've seen in Himachal Pradesh that the incumbent is voted out and the challenger is voted in. Himachal Pradesh Assembly elections 2022, how do you read them?
And you know, in Himachal, there are only two political parties, that is BJP and the Congress. So after 1985, the governments have been repeating Veerbhadra Singh going, Prem Kumar Dhumal coming from the BJP side, and this thing continued. But this time, there is a new Chief Minister, Jai Ram Thakur, who is leading the BJP to the elections. He is the first-term Chief Minister, though he has been MLA for the 5 times. So you know what happened in the last elections when Prem Kumar Dhumal ji was leading the BJP to the elections, he lost his elections. Then the search started for the new Chief Minister. And he was the youngster presenting a generational change in the BJP, and he was selected because he was also sitting MLA. And JP Nadda, who is the BJP's national president, he was also in the race for the chief ministership, but the party decided to have an elected MLA as chief minister. So now it is the big test for Jai Ram Thakur in the assembly elections to lead and prove that he has delivered in Himachal Pradesh. And the BJP this time is also talking about double engine government. So that is also a slogan, and another slogan which the BJP has coined this time is Rivaj Badal Denge. We'll change the custom of rotating the governments. So that is the all elections about Himachal Pradesh. BJP is well entrenched. BJP is fighting the elections. But on the other side, the stalwart like Veerbhadra Singh is not the fray. It's the election between the youngsters. Congress has not declared its chief ministerial candidate, but the BJP has the chief ministerial candidate. Let's see how the voters go on 12th of November.
Absolutely, sir. We'll have to see how the voters vote on 12th of November. But Aditi ji, I'd like to understand from you, what do you think are the main issues on the ground in Himachal Pradesh?
Well, the background of this election is the by-elections which took place a little while ago, in which the incumbent BJP lost, despite being in power, lost all. So that was a bit of a setback for the party. I don't know how much it will reflect in the assembly election. That's still it's a question out there. But I think the biggest issues are the issue of the old pension scheme, the issue of agrarian crisis, and especially the price of apples. The other issue is, of course, livelihood. And there is also another issue, which is the whole Agnipath scheme,
Yes,
which people are not very happy about. On the other hand, the BJP has done quite well while in government, although it has been dogged by corruption scams. But the general conventional wisdom is that corruption does not feature usually in Indian elections. So I don't know. I'm, I would defer to Ashwini ji to, give me guidance.
I'll answer
right.
a few issues.
Right, sir. Dr. Sharma, please go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, the Congress confidence in fighting the election this time is that the trend will not change. That is their biggest basis for the elections this time. and their campaign is going very well. And one thing I will appreciate for the Congress this time, there's no dispute in the ticket distributions as it used to happen. But the BJP is fighting a lot of problems in ticket distribution. There are 20 rebels contesting against the BJP. And coming to the by-elections, yes, BJP had a biggest setback during the by-elections, and that has increased the confidence of the Congress that they are coming back to power, and the trend will continue. That is also their slogan, कि रिवाज नहीं बदलेगा, Congress power में आ रही है. That is the trend. Yes, there is the issue of old pension scheme, and the reasons for that is that Himachal Pradesh has a largest lobby of government employees. There are 2,50,000 government employees, and there are 1.60, I think, lakhs pensioners.
Right.
So practically every second family has a government employee. So they really influence the elections in Himachal Pradesh. That has been the trend even before.
Right, absolutely. I'll stick to the OPS scheme for now. Mr. Sanjay Singh, I'd like to understand that OPS, even we saw this particular electoral plank in Uttar Pradesh as well, wherein the Samajwadi Party promised to restore the old pension scheme. In Himachal Pradesh also, we saw that Priyanka Gandhi, when she started off her political campaign, she promised to restore the OPS. Do you think that this issue will find resonance among the voters? As Dr. Sharma pointed out, there are a large number of government employees in the state.
This was talked about in Uttar Pradesh elections. Akhilesh Yadav, as you mentioned, did promise it. And there were many people critical of BJP's campaign and BJP's possible return to power. We're actually making a lot of sound and fury about Akhilesh Yadav promising old pension scheme. The fact remains, under the present circumstances, it's very, very difficult for any government which comes to the power to revert to old pension scheme. There are a lot of difficulties out there. When we say that this number of government employees are there, and of course, things actually matter. But do all government employees or most government employees actually get swept by the promises made? See, when it comes to election and 48 hours ahead of election or less than that, the actual issue is delivery and of the ruling party and the potential delivery, possible delivery that the challenger is promising. Does the challenger have a track record? Second thing is that I would disagree that corruption do not matter in these elections in India. It mattered in 2014 parliamentary election. It mattered in Himachal Pradesh election in 2012, where BJP actually made a very strong case against Singh on corruption.
Right.
Third thing, by-election pointer, on which Congress is very buoyant, and some people otherwise are also very buoyant about by-elections. We have seen as to how many by-elections have been held in Uttar Pradesh and also in Bihar. By-elections do not reflect the trends that are going to be there in assembly polls or in parliamentary polls, or whichever happens out there post a by-election or a series of by-elections after, say, in a gap of 3 to 6 months. Third thing, the fourth thing that about rotation thing, we have examples. Each election is a different election. Yes, in Himachal Pradesh, there have been lately a trend for past 3 decades about the incumbent going out and challenger coming in. But we have also example of Uttarakhand.
Exactly.
Earlier this year. We also have example of Uttar Pradesh, where the multiple challenges were there, and there have been multiple challenges. BJP returned to power in both cases. In Punjab, about a decade ago, Akali Dal BJP government came to return to power, where again there was a rotational system. In Tamil Nadu, Jayalalitha had broken that jinx. Unfortunately, she is not alive now. But if we go by these trends and start analyzing an election as to what happened in the past, those anecdotal things, of course, are important in analyzing an election. But also, when we analyze a particular election, we also have to see situation on the ground as to who is the challenger, how far the challenger. See, in these elections, Veerbhadra Singh is not there, as Ashwini Sarmaji was pointing. The Congress, and in fact, is relying on memory and photographs of Veerbhadra Singh. The Aam Aadmi Party, which made a lot of sound and fury earlier, is now, I don't think, is in picture right now when we are elections are going to be held day after. So
Right.
all in all, elections, we should analyze these elections in fresh perspective. That would say that.
Right, sir. Sanjay ji, my next question will stem from the statement that you made. And Pradeep ji, Sanjay ji pointed out that yes, we're talking about flip states, but we also have the example of Uttarakhand in front of us. Now, BJP changed the rules of game there. Do you think it can replicate the same success in Himachal Pradesh as well?
Yeah, you can't rule that out. We've seen that the same trend was there in Kerala. But then the left front broke that trend and they got another term in office. So, yes, we do have this tradition of two parties alternating in power, but let's see if the same trend continues now. I would like to add two more factors. One is nationalism. Himachal has a very large number of ex-servicemen as well as serving army men. So that is a very powerful slogan. That's a very powerful plank which the BJP has. Then there is the leadership of Narendra Modi. The Congress has very carefully avoided taking the Prime Minister on. They are basically keeping it as a local fight. That would help the Congress well. They have not pitched Sonia Gandhi against Narendra Modi. Rahul Gandhi is missing from the campaign. And Priyanka Gandhi has addressed only a few rallies. That's also perhaps because of the great equation which she and the state in charge of the Congress, Mr. Rajiv Shukla, share. But apart from that, it is basically a low-key local campaign which may be very effective. But yes, there is a clear effort not to take on the Prime Minister and not make it a fight against him, because that is one plank which may or may not pay off. In fact, most likely not to pay. So therefore, the Congress is avoiding it. As far as the BJP rebels are concerned, yes, that is a very strong factor. But there is a kind of competition within the Congress for the state leadership. That vacuum is there, and there is no clear leadership at the state level as such.
Of course,
Yes.
after the demise of
Yes,
late
Mr.
Veerbhadra Singh.
Veerbhadra Singh.
Right, right. But Dr. Sharma, as we're talking about the BJP, I'd like to understand that the BJP is banking on the governance part of it, the pro-poor policies, and of course, the Modi magic, the Modi charisma. Now, we've seen BJP's juggernaut roll out. That's why perhaps the opposition parties have been biting dust at the hustings. Here in Himachal Pradesh, what are the things that could go in favor of the BJP?
Look, one factor is that the chief minister is a new face. The people want to give him a chance, and there's so far no allegations of corruption against this chief minister. He comes from a very poor background. He has won the election 5 times from a constituency which was used to be a Congress constituency. And there is some kind of an element in Mandi district in favor of him, because it's the first time that Mandi has the chief minister. Number 2, Narendra Modi has a connect with Himachal Pradesh because he has worked in Himachal Pradesh for 7 years, and he talks about Himachal customs, he talks about Himachal issues, and there has been a considerable liberal funding to Himachal Pradesh during past few months. We got AIMS completed in 5 years' time, which was not an easy thing. Now we got bulk drug park in Himachal Pradesh, medical device park, and so many other projects. There are a lot of projects which is, that's why the BJP has talks about the double engine government. So because it's easier to get the project and funding from the centers. So that's why the BJP finds the conditions very congenial this time as compared when Dhumal has led the party to the elections or Shanta Kumar was in the picture. So this time the conditions are very favorable for the BJP. That's what the BJP says. And JP Nadda being the president of the party from Himachal Pradesh, that BJP thinks may also benefit the party.
But Aditi ji, I'd like to understand, will the independents and the rebels dent BJP's mission repeat?
The thing with Himachal Pradesh is that the constituencies are small and the margins of victory are also very small sometimes. In the last election, I think almost more than 10 seats were won or lost by a margin of around 500 seats or less. So it's very difficult, and in that situation, if there are BJP rebels which nibble into even 100 votes or 200 votes, which should have gone to the BJP, you can have a very close contest. So certainly, I think the BJP is also worried about it. It's true that the Congress had a number of rebels, but 80% of them have stood down now. And they may not be happy about working for the official candidate, but are not standing against the official candidate. So it's hard to say exactly how much damage the rebels will do, but that they will do damage, I think, is unquestionable. As far as the overall climate of the election is concerned, I don't agree with Sanjay. I think the by-election does reflect an overall climate, and we have to see things in a certain perspective. Every election that takes place in any state is an important election, and it gives you a sort of a view into the thinking of the people.
Sanjay, would you quickly respond to her?
We have seen in Uttar Pradesh, when BJP came to power, BJP lost parliamentary elections out there, by-elections. Again, when BJP government in the state was formed, and ahead of those elections, by-elections were held, and Akhilesh Yadav won all by-polls, and quite a number, more than a dozen by-polls. Subsequently, BJP had lost by-elections out there. And then BJP swept parliamentary elections and last general elections, assembly elections. This has happened in Bihar. This has happened at multiple places. So therefore, I don't think by-elections are appointed to the general elections that are taking place. The other factor is it happens at times as to when voters vent their anger against an incumbent, as perhaps in the Himachal Pradesh case, as in Mandi, where parliamentary BJP lost parliamentary seat, which is a home district of the chief minister. The voters have expressed their anger once, and thereafter they reconcile to certain facts that, okay, we have vented our anger, and the incumbent, whosoever is, if a political party is a conscious political party and its leadership is conscious about a situation, they do make corrective actions. And therefore, I would not agree with what Aditi is saying, that a by-election is a pointer to the general elections that are to come.
All right, sir, as analysts, we can just analyze the trends and the prospects. We'll let the voters decide the fate. But Pradeep ji, I'd like to understand this, that traditionally we've been saying that it is a bipolar contest in Himachal Pradesh between the BJP and the Congress. This time there's Aam Aadmi Party as well. Do you think the prospects of all three parties would change? Is it going to be a triangular contest, or will it continue to be a bipolar contest only?
For now, I think it would be a bipolar fight. Initially, we had all thought that the Aam Aadmi Party would make it a three-pronged contest, but that hasn't happened. Aam Aadmi Party saw defections at a very large scale. Their state president walked into the BJP. So the Aam Aadmi Party has been a non-starter in Himachal, unlike Gujarat, where their campaign is in full swing, where they've got people. And even Aam Aadmi Party, if you look at it, their campaign hasn't really picked up a momentum. So for now, yes, I do believe that the bipolar system would continue. Maybe next time we'll have a three-cornered fights.
Dr. Sharma, what's the sense on the ground for Aam Aadmi Party?
No, Aam Aadmi Party has really gone back. I think they rolled their bags back. And in fact, I will tell you another thing, that there have been experiments in Himachal Pradesh for the third party. Pandit Sukhram, who was Union Telecom Minister, he formed his own party, but he could not get considerable number of seats. Only 5 seats they won, and ultimately they merged this party with the BJP initially. Then they rolled back the party to the Congress. And Maheshwar Singh, who is a very senior BJP leader, he wanted to contest election. He had also formed a party, but he could win just one election. So Himachal Pradesh has been accepted as a bipolar politics. There is no place for the third party. Experiments have been happening, and Aam Aadmi Party just thought that in the light of their victory in Punjab, they will come to Himachal. But as the Chief Minister said it very in the lighter vein, that they have started climbing the hill, but their breath will not be supporting them. So that has happened, and Pradeep has rightly said that the people they selected, they gone back to the BJP, or they were not very credible face who could pull the party forward. That is the problem with the AAP, and only it's the Congress and the BJP has been happening.
All right, Aditi, I'd also like to understand that the BJP has promised uniform civil code in the state if voted back to power. Do you think this issue will find resonance among the voters?
I'm not really very sure if uniform civil code is top of the mind recall when it comes to the issues in the election. I mean, it could be one of the things that matters peripherally as a package deal of other things that the BJP offers. But I'm not sure if it's such an important thing that will swing the election in favor of the BJP.
Sanjay Singh, do you agree to this, or do you think that it will be one of the factors in the mind of the voters?
See, any election is held on a large bouquet of things which a political party offers. So we have to understand the context under which UCC has been promised to the electorate in Himachal Pradesh by the BJP budget. There have been recently there have been instances where a lot of things are being said, and there is an atmosphere when there are parties and people who are trying to revive anti-sentiments on CA and other things. And in that context, if you look at take Uttarakhand, why this thing was said in Uttarakhand? Because in Uttarakhand, there was genuine apprehension on the ground of the people that the infiltration of a section of a community, which is Muslims per se, was gaining presence in several areas where actually they were completely non-existent. And there were also certain other things which was contributing to psyche of people in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. And therefore, if you see, Harish Rawat had then made a statement about Muslim university in Uttarakhand, and that thing actually boomeranged. And under those contexts, this UCC came. UCC is something which is part of constitution.
Right.
Supreme Court has talked about on several occasions. Unfortunately, that has not been happening. When Uttarakhand announced this thing, there was a debate as to whether a state is competent to do this or this is within domain of the center. The debate largely hinged towards the state were competent to do it if they wanted to do it.
Right,
and
Sanjay.
it cannot be challenged at some later stages. So therefore, this is one of the issues, not the main issue, but one of the issues.
But one of the issues, of course.
And
we as analysts, as anchors, as journalists, we'll sit and analyze the issues that will impact the minds of the voters when they actually go out and vote and when the counting would be conducted. On that note, thank you so much for joining us, Pradeep ji, Sanjay ji, Dr. Sharma and Aditi ji. Well, viewers, that's all I could pack for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now.